EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martin here with your outlook for October 8th, 2024. The Tuesday video forecast is proudly sponsored by Mark Damiani Painting Incorporated. Colder weather will be here before you know it, and it's time to start thinking about freshening up that family room for those Friday nights on the couch, binging your favorite TV shows, or how about turning that man cave into the colors of your favorite sports team? Let them help you with any interior project this coming winter. They are family owned and operated with over 40 years in business. You can't go wrong with their exceptional attention to detail and great customer service. Servicing the Southeast PA counties of Montgomery, Bucks, and Chester. Call them now to schedule a free estimate at the phone number above me here in the video, 484-571-9233, and mention EPAWA to get 15% off the total cost of any job scheduled between December and March of this coming winter. They are Mark Damiani Painting Incorporated, proud sponsor of the Tuesday video forecast. So today we have a mostly sunny day. I think of the far northern areas closest to the New York-Pennsylvania border, you're still dealing with some low heights across this region here. So I see a little disturbance across the north here. So nearest the Pennsylvania-New York border, up in those areas north of that line, you might have a little bit more in the way of clouds to deal with today. But elsewhere, we're looking at mostly sunny skies and temperatures that'll be near to slightly below average. So it'll be 65 to 70 today is what our spread is from north to south. And very similar here again on Wednesday with similar conditions, except the entire area will be mostly sunny here on Wednesday. Big attention grabber, of course, is going to be a major hurricane in the Gulf, and actually was a Category 5. It still is a Category 5 at this hour, but it was actually at one point an 897 millibar storm with 180 mile per hour sustained winds. That has come down a little bit, and we'll go through the reasons why that is. Why it has come down here in this video. But this is expected to make landfall here late Wednesday evening or maybe around midnight, just either side of midnight there, it looks like here on Wednesday night. That's general timeline, and it's still taking aim on the general Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater area. Okay, so that is the general gist of it. I just want to run through our forecast here because this is going to cross a peninsula and head out in the Atlantic. After that is not going to affect us in any shape or form. We do have a piece of this deeper trough that's going to affect our region here on Thursday. Still mostly sunny, but temperatures will be the lowest of this entire period. We're looking at mostly sunny skies and temperatures in the low to mid 60s for highs here on Thursday. So 60 to 65 degree range. Comes down a little bit on Thursday with those temperatures, but it goes right back up on Friday as that trough lifts out. And there is Milton, or what's left of Milton, heading out to sea and staying well south of our region. Here is Friday. Big high pressure is going to set up over the center of the country right here over the Tennessee Valley, and that's going to allow for mostly sunny skies to continue into Friday and Saturday, but it's also going to allow for a warm-up to occur. So we're going to have temperatures on Friday pretty similar to what we're going to deal with today and tomorrow, but then once we get to Saturday, I think it's going to be the peak heating day, if you will, ahead of this next cold front. We have a little bit of ridging building in, so Saturday we'll have temperatures in the low to mid 70s, so it's going to be a little bit warmer. Actually, some upper 70s are possible here in Southeast PA near the Philadelphia Metro, and also by the New York City Metro. Will be a little bit warmer than 75, it looks like, for your Saturday, but still mostly sunny skies expected. Then we get to Sunday. We do have the opportunity for some showers moving in overnight into Monday morning. With this next cold front. The timing of this is still kind of back and forth, so we'll kind of just follow this throughout the week and see what the exact timing this is. Does it get in here late Sunday? It's possible, but right now we're going with intervals of clouds and sun on Sunday. And then in the wake of this front, we have another trough, even deeper trough than the one we're experiencing earlier in the week. This one's a real doozy here. You see the 540 line all the way down here. So we're going to have some cooler temperatures with some areas not getting out of the 50s, it looks like, as parts of early next week. Monday looks like it's going to be still in the low 60s yet, but it might be like Tuesday, Wednesday, we're not getting out of the 50s in some places. So it's going to be a little chilly. Certainly a taste of fall coming here with these cold front shots, but we're not dealing with a lot of precipitation, unfortunately, because we certainly need it. So let's get over to the hurricane here. Just this is a massive... Well, it's not really massive. It's kind of compact. It's not really a large hurricane in terms of diameter. but it's in process of becoming larger. Okay, so there is the eye. You can see on the infrared here. I have to use infrared because it is, of course, you can use a visible satellite since after dark is the time of recording the video. Very close to the Yucatan Peninsula. This is the Yucatan Peninsula over here. It should stay north of there, and then it's going to start heading east-northeast. It's heading east today, or east right now, but it's going to start heading east-northeast with time. And you can see a clearly defined eye here in the center, but very tiny. This thing was only 4 miles wide, which is pretty incredible. And I go over to a still image, and this is the latest image. It shows that same infrared image, but you can no longer see an eye in the middle. What's going on here is an eye wall replacement cycle. So what the hurricane will do is, I'm going to do this in yellow here so you can actually see what I'm drawing. Very tight pinhole eye right there. When the hurricane hunters went in to investigate this aircraft after 8 o'clock, at 8 o'clock it was 180 miles per hour, 897 millibars, and at its strongest measured point, okay? They noticed that there was the eye that was only 4 miles, actually 3.8 miles wide, right? And then there was an outer ring here that was 26 miles wide around the center. There was concentric rings here. So what the hurricane's going to end up doing, it almost has a will to survive, just like viruses do, right? They have to attach to hosts or whatever. That's kind of a poor explanation there. But the whole idea there is it has a will and desire to survive and get bigger. The only way you can do that, it can't stay compact like this forever. So the eye wall is the second eye wall forming around here is actually going to choke off the inner eye wall, which will allow the storm itself to get larger in size and diameter. During that process, there's weakening of the winds and rising of the pressure while that cycle is going on. And at this hour, it's still ongoing. But this will choke off and it's not this dramatic either, but I mean, it's going to choke off this inner eye wall and make the eye larger, which then in turn spreads the wind field out farther and makes the hurricane larger itself. And that's what's happening this evening. That's why the stats came down a little bit. We were down to 165 miles per hour at the 11 o'clock advisory, and the pressure has come up to 900. Oh, I just saw, I think it was 915 or 912. But either way, it's right around there. Okay, and so that has come up. Pressure's come up a little bit. It's still expected to be a major hurricane all the way up until landfall point here in where they're still projecting near this Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater area. So that's why the Weather Channel has all their guys stationed right in this area here where the hurricane warnings are. So basically, when this expands, it does have the ability, once the eye wall replacement cycle is complete, and it's a larger storm, it does have the ability to intensify further. And I do think you might see a little bit of that once it gets out here on Tuesday afternoon, somewhere in this area right here. Change this back to black so we can actually see this. Yeah, once it gets out here, there is a chance for a little bit more development in the direction of more intense, okay? And it's just going to be temporary, though, because once this starts gaining latitude and heading toward the coast, it's not going to be nearly as strong because we have strong westerly shear with the subtropical jet running this way that's going to eat away at this. About 30 to 40 knots of shear, and that's not really that good. And it's actually going to come in from the southwest as this thing's heading toward the coast, and that's going to erode the southern half of the eye wall. As it approaches Tampa, it's going to weaken it, and it should be about a Category 3 or so when it makes landfall. At least that's what we're hoping, that it's no more than that, because right now, obviously, it's a Category 5. May maintain Category 5 status, or maybe drop into 4 through this eye wall replacement cycle. May re-intensify slightly a little bit here during the day on Tuesday. Maybe not. Maybe just maintains, but once it gets up here, we're not expecting it to be anywhere near that intensity, but it's still a major hurricane, and it's going to create a lot of problems, especially with storm surge for the Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater area, and really all up and down the central West Florida coast here. So it's not just there. You go all the way down to Sarasota, Fort Myers, they're going to have issues of their own, and going all the way up further north here to parts of the Big Bend as well. So this is what the European model has for that storm. Stays north of the Yucatan Peninsula, and then it continues to expand. See the wind field expander raining and wind field expanding as this grows in size as it heads toward the Tampa, St. Pete area. There's where it makes landfall. This is actually a couple hours after midnight here on the European model. So this might be early Thursday that it would make in the wee hours in the morning, which would be disastrous, of course. And then it eventually crosses the Florida Peninsula, goes over Orlando, comes out near the Space Coast, and then continues east from there. But it does look like it's going to be a direct hit somewhere very close to, if not over, the Tampa St. Pete area, Tampa Bay area. So we'll keep a close eye on that here for the next day or so. But it's not looking too good for those areas in Florida. Just if you have family down there, friends, family, whatever, and they're under mandatory evacuation orders, please encourage them to heed the local officials' warnings and get out of there. There's no sense in being there, right? If you stay there, and a lot of these deaths that occur here in hurricanes are due to flooding or rising waters, and you get drownings and things like that, and these could be 100% prevented if they just evacuate, okay? It's a very preventable thing. So encourage them to leave if they're under mandatory evacuation orders. We'll continue to watch this from afar and hope for the best for our friends down here in Florida. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martis. That is your outlook for October 8th, 2024. Have a great Tuesday.